He was shot in the face, but the bullet hit his bone, knocking his eye out before lodging into his brain. And somehow he survived and snuck away from enemy lines. His other eye swelled shut, and he had to hold it open just to see. At the hospital, doctors refused to operate since they knew he'd die anyway. But miraculously, the soldier recovered with the bullets still in his brain. And over the next 30 years, small pieces of metal fell out of the wound, leaving him with a bullet-shaped hole in his forehead. He stumbled home drunk and fell into a giant pothole in the street. But when workers arrived, it was still dark, and they didn't see him lying there. They filled in the hole before flattening it with a steamroller. And the next morning, locals found an arm sticking out of the road. Terrified, they started digging and found the man buried alive and suffocated to death. She had to shave her hairy nose every few days just to look normal. You see, she was attacked by a dog, which bit off a chunk of her face. To fix the damage, doctors pulled down a piece of her forehead, using it to replace the missing flesh. But the new skin included part of her scalp, and the hair follicles were transplanted with it. Once it healed, they started to grow, giving her a hairy nose. But eventually, she actually grew to like it. If a volcano erupted, you'd probably try to outrun the lava flow, but it can move up to 20 miles per hour and could even set you on fire without ever touching you. That's because the real threat is the intense heat it radiates. It can reach over 1,000 degrees and cause severe burns from a distance. You would need to be at least 1,000 feet ahead of the eruption to avoid the harm. He pulled the pin from a live grenade, snapping a photo while holding it in his hand. Then he quickly texted a friend the picture, joking about the danger. But the friend got worried and begged him to stop messing around. You see, the man thought it wouldn't explode unless he threw it. So he tried putting the pin back in, but it wouldn't go. And he let go of the lever, causing the grenade to blow up, splitting his body in half and killing him instantly. She would poison her suitors, then chop up their bodies and bury them in shallow graves around her property. She would place newspaper ads claiming to seek a husband to live on her secluded farm with her. Wealthy men would answer her ad, bringing cash and valuables to start their new life. But when they arrived, she did the unthinkable. Years later, her farmhouse mysteriously burned to the ground, and police found the hundreds of bones while searching the area. At least 40 bodies were uncovered, including children. Police assumed that she died in the fire, but her body was never recovered. If you swam straight down, at just 10 meters, the pressure would cause a painful squeezing sensation in your middle ear and sinuses. And by the time you reached 100 meters, your lungs would fill with blood to keep them from collapsing. And if you somehow kept going past 1,000 meters, where even submarines start to struggle, the gases in your blood would become toxic, and any part of your body that still had some air in it would collapse. At around 3,000 meters, the crushing force would cause you to implode instantly. A woman was ejected from her car during a crash and landed in a power line. The impact left her dangling precariously, with live electrical wires surrounding her. But instead of causing immediate death, the electrical current coursing through her body actually helped save her life. The electricity burned her open wound, preventing her from bleeding out. And the power line pinched off the main artery in her leg, keeping her from losing too much blood. The gator clamped onto his arm and began spinning, trying to pull him underwater. He fought as hard as he could, but it wouldn't let go. And finally, it tore his arm off completely. He managed to swim back to shore one-handed, but he was stranded in the wilderness. For 3 days, he crawled through the woods, drinking from puddles just to stay alive. Eventually, someone spotted him and called for help, and he survived.